Welcome back, students. So in this video we'll be doing question number 2 of exercise 2.3 section B. So this is the question given, okay? Check whether the first polynomial is a factor of the second polynomial by dividing the second polynomial by the first polynomial. This is question, okay? So this is, what is this? This is the first polynomial, and this is the second polynomial. Okay, clear? So we have to divide the second polynomial by the first polynomial. All right, so you just be read the question properly and try to understand it. We have to divide the second polynomial by the first polynomial. Clear? So we're going to be dividing 2 to the power t4, this with t square minus 3. Now the question is also given that we're asked to check whether it is a factor of the second polynomial. So by that we must understand, if the question is it a factor, okay? If the question is asked, you should check. First thing is, when you divide it, okay, in terms of division, we'll be talking in terms of division only here because we're doing division algorithm. In terms of division, it will, or a polynomial, one of the polynomial will be a factor of the second polynomial if the remainder is 0. Clear? Remember that, okay? So the first question that's given us is we're asked to check if it is a factor or not. So we have to check, okay, if the first polynomial is a factor. That means when you divide the first polynomial, that means when you divide the first polynomial with the second polynomial, your remainder should be 0. Okay, if it's 0, then we can say that the first polynomial is a factor of the second polynomial. If we do not get remainder as 0, then the first polynomial is not a factor. Okay, so we'll do the division here. Okay, we'll be using division algorithm for all of this. Okay, because the question is said by dividing, so the concept of division comes here. So this is given to us. We have to divide. Remember, we have to divide the second polynomial by the first. Okay, not the other way around. Okay, you divide 4 by 2. Okay, it's something like that. So this is the question given. So it uses the same concept of division algorithm. What should you multiply t square with to get 2 to the power t 2t to the power 4? You should multiply it with 2t square, right? Okay, when you multiply t square with 2 with you can always write in bracket over here. Okay, I'll try to stop using this in the next problem because I don't think it's 2 into 2t square into 3. Okay, so 2t to the power 4 minus 6t squared. This is what you're getting. You can always do in rough work, but it's better if you can do a mental calculation. So t square into 2t square will be 2 to the power t4 minus 3 into 2 would be minus 6, but this is t square. So go and find out where there is a minus t square, or where there is a polynomial with whose variable has degree 2. Okay, so minus 3 into 2t square would be minus 6t square, right? Now you start dividing this. So this is a plus, so it will become minus. This is minus, so it will become plus. This will just come down. This will cancel, right? 2 to the power t4 minus 2 to the power t4 just cancels. So this becomes 3t cubed minus 2t square minus 2t square plus 6t square becomes 4t square minus 9t minus 12. Next, what should you multiply t square with in order to get 3t square? Remember, this is a plus 3t square. Okay, so be careful with the sign. So you must multiply t square with 3t. Yes, so when you multiply t square with 3t, you get this as 3t cubed minus 3 plus 3 becomes minus 9t. All right, so you can just cancel that out. So this is plus, so it becomes minus. This is minus, so it becomes plus. So plus 3t square and minus 3t square becomes 0. Minus 9t plus 9t, this becomes 0. So you'll be left with 4t square minus 12. So now what should you multiply t square with in order to get 4t square? You should multiply it with 4, right? Because t square into 4 becomes 4t square. Minus 3 into 4 becomes minus 12. So this is a plus here, so this becomes minus, this is minus, so it becomes plus. So 4t square minus 4t square, 0. minus 12 plus 12, 0. Okay, therefore, you can finally conclude, therefore, t square minus 3 is a factor. It's a factor of 2 to the power t4 plus 3t3 minus 2t2 minus 9t minus 12. Okay, you can always conclude this. A factor because the remainder is 0. Okay, so we shall quickly move on to the next question. Again, the next question is a fairly easy question. It's the same thing, okay? We're asked to find if the second polynomial is first polynomial is a factor of the second polynomial. So we'll start a division here. I'll start from over here, okay, in case if we run out of space. So this is going to be x squared plus 3x plus 1. You have to divide 3x to the power 4 plus 5x to the power 3 minus 7x to the power 2 plus 2x plus 2. Alright, so let's see. What should you multiply x squared with in order to get 3x to the power 4? So obviously you have to multiply it with 3 and 3x squared. So when you multiply x squared into 3x squared, you get it as 3x to the power 4. Clear? Now, plus, there's a plus here, 3x squared into 3x becomes 9x cubed, x cubed. 1 into 3 squared becomes plus 3x squared. Okay, so this will become minus. It's a plus here, this will become minus, this will become minus. So you can cancel that out. So plus 5x cubed minus, okay, be very careful with the sign. A lot of students make silly mistakes over here. So 9x cubed minus 5x cubed minus 9x to the power cube becomes minus 4x cubed, right? So bring it down, minus 4x cubed. Now minus 7x squared minus 3x squared. Remember, this is minus 7x squared minus 3x squared, so it will become minus 10x squared. Bring this 2 down, plus 2x. Nothing will happen to this signs, okay? Remember, the sign only changes when you're trying to subtract it. So now what should you multiply x squared with in order to get minus 4x cubed? So remember the sign, so it's a minus, so you have to multiply with a minus. So 4x, when you multiply x squared with minus 4x, you'll get it as minus 4x cubed. And when you multiply minus 4x with plus 3x, you'll get it as plus 12x squared. 1 minus 4x becomes minus 4x. So you cancel this. This will cancel because this becomes plus, this becomes plus, this becomes plus. So minus 4x cubed plus 4x cubed cancelled. Minus 10x squared plus 12x squared becomes 2x squared. Plus, okay, remember this. The sign will always transform. Plus 2x plus 4x becomes plus 6x plus 2. Now, finally, there's a plus sign. There's no minus sign over here, so you should add it, right? The sign will become plus. So what should you multiply x squared with in order to get 2x squared? You should multiply it with 2. So x squared into 2 becomes 2x squared. 3x into 2 becomes, there's a plus sign, 3x into 2 becomes 6x and plus 2. Clear? So this will become minus, minus and minus. So it cancels out, 0. Therefore, x squared plus 3x plus 1 is a factor of, you can conclude, okay, factor of 3x to the power 4 plus 5x cubed minus 7x squared plus 2x plus 2. It is a factor because our remainder is 0. Okay, so if our remainder is not 0, then it will not be a factor. So for the last question for this is going to be this. Okay, we're asked to find this out. So we use the same method. So x cubed minus 3x plus 1, x to the power 5 minus 4x cubed plus x squared plus 3x plus 1. Okay, so now let's see whether the first polynomial is a factor of the second polynomial or not. Now, first thing is, what should you multiply x squared with in order to get x to the power 5? So you should multiply it with x squared, right? So x cubed into x squared becomes x to the power 5. Minus 3x into x squared becomes minus 3x x cubed. 1 into x squared becomes x squared. So this becomes, there's a plus here, so minus, plus, minus. So this becomes, cancel out. Minus 4x cubed plus 3x cubed becomes minus x cubed. This will cancel out because plus x squared minus x squared. So plus 3x plus 1. So you should what should you multiply x cube with in order to get minus x cube? Okay, be very careful with that. You should multiply minus 1, right? So x cube into minus 1 becomes minus x cube, and be very careful with the sign over here, okay? Minus into minus becomes plus. Be careful with that, okay? 3x into 1 becomes 3x. Plus 1 into minus 1. First plus into minus becomes minus. 1 into 1 becomes 1. So this will become plus, this will become minus. So minus x cube plus x cube is 0. Okay, just don't write 0. Just cancel it out, okay? Just strike it off like this. Plus 3x minus 3x is 0. So, but this will become plus. Plus 1, 2. So the remainder here is, therefore you can write, since the remainder is 2, okay, x cube minus 3x plus 1 is not a factor. Alright, it is not a factor of x to the power 5 minus 4x cubed plus x squared plus 3x plus 1. Okay with this? Okay. So we shall end the video here, and in the next video we'll be doing the next questions.